I'm just a Christian girl in a godless world, trying to find my own way. This is a day I find my way. No stopping now, going my own pace, as long as God's leading my way. Have you ever felt like you were going crazy trying to survive in this world as a Christian? Do you feel the need to go deeper in your relationship with God? Well, join me and others as we dive deep into these topics that most believers won't ever talk about. We're keeping it real, raw, and true. This is Christian Girl in a Godless World with Dominique. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to Christian Girl in a Godless World. I am Dominique Russell-Dewar. I'm so happy to be back with you guys today. I know it's been a long time. You all know I'm very inconsistent with these episodes. But when I do come on, it's always good. It's always a good topic. Always a great time and great discussion. And so today is no different. But today I do have a guest with me. You all know how I like bringing guests on the show. And so this guest is going to help me kick off a bit of a series where we talk about faith and mental health, especially as Christians in today's times. I think that is so important for us to understand just the difference between these two and how important it is to merge them and just talk about what that looks like, especially with our struggles in life. So today I have Mrs. Nickeema Lyte, and she is a licensed clinical social worker, devoted Christian, and founder of a thriving faith center private practice, dedicated to supporting individuals through faith-based, strengths-focused individual therapy. So beyond clinical practice, she offers consultation, professional training, workshops, and supervision for clinicians and organizations seeking thoughtful, evidence-informed support. With over 10 years of experience in clinical practice, Nickeema is passionate about empowering both clients and emerging clinicians and leaders to reach their full potential. She brings warmth, authenticity, and practical insight to every space she enters. Nickeema's heart for people and love for God shine through her work as a therapist, mentor, and speaker. So everybody, please give a warm welcome to Mrs. Nickeema Lyte. Hey, hi, Nickeema.
I am super excited to connect with you. It's going well.
Yes, that's good. I'm excited to connect with you as well. And, you know, me and Nickeema are not new to each other. We actually met maybe a few months ago because I have a community of Christian therapists where we do meet and, you know, we talk and we really just encourage each other in our practice as Christian therapists. So that's how we first got introduced. And then we just kept, you know, chatting about, you know, different things in regards to being faith-based therapists, being Christians in general. And so I thought it'd be a great idea to just bring her on. So I'm so happy to have you.
And I'm so happy for the space that you've created for us as Christian clinicians as well. It's been super, super important to me, like in my practice, but also in my faith.
Yes, that's so amazing to hear. I'm so glad to hear that. All right. Well, our topic today is a really good one. Okay. So we are going to be talking about what it means and just the struggles between being a Christian and a people pleaser. Okay. So this is a good look. This is a good topic. And we both are like, oh, yeah, we got to talk about this because, it's, you know, just even people who are not new to this podcast, I talk about a lot of deep stuff. And so I felt like this fit right in to the podcast and what we talk about. So we're going to get into it. So maybe this resonates with you already as you heard the topic of, oh, people pleasing. Yeah, that's me. I do struggle with that a lot. So we're going to jump in and just, you know, have some discussion about this, and prayerfully you are able to walk away with just guidance, with wisdom and encouragement to know that you don't have to continue being a people pleaser if you are. Okay.
Yep. That's the goal.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, let's jump in. So, Nickeema, what do you think it means to be a people pleaser?
First, I want to say that my name is Nickeema. I'm a recovering people pleaser.
Yes. I love it. I love it.
That's on my
Same
t-shirt,
here.
guys, right? So disclaimer, when we consider like the act of people pleasing, I feel like anybody can operate in.
Mm-hmm.
But being a people pleaser, I would say is like the consistent acts that I'm gonna like describe, but just being able to even hold those two because I people please doesn't necessarily mean I'm a people pleaser. How often,
Yes.
what areas, and what's my motive? So wanted to talk about that and considering these three things. A people pleaser has a desire to please others,
Mm-hmm.
has a desire to appear pleasing,
Mm-hmm.
and has a desire to avoid discomfort,
Yes.
right? And in those three, you can consider like for the first one, a desire to please others might be the unconscious voice of if she's happy with me, I'm happy. If she's not
Mm.
with me, I'm not happy,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And we might be saying this unconsciously,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yep.
the desire for other people to feel good, to feel happy, could be something that identifies us as a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
But the other area that I feel like is more new to me in the understanding is also wanting to appear pleasing.
Yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
view of others and how they see me,
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be pleased, whether
Yeah.
that be
Yeah.
physically, whether that be intellectually, whether that be looking at my spiritual life, like the appearance of it, I
Mm-hmm.
want them to be pleased. So the things that I decide to do, the things that I decide to say, is my attempts and efforts to appear pleasing. That one is
Mm.
sinister because
Oh yeah.
it as Christians, we can put on unintentionally again, we can put on to appear as if we're good,
Yeah.
even when we are not.
Mm-hmm.
And by not good, I don't mean only morally, like we can not be good emotionally, but we want to appear that way. We can not be good spiritually, financially, but we
Mm.
want to appear that way.
Yep.
And then the third one, I would say, is a driver as well, is the desire to avoid discomfort.
Mm. Ooh.
People pleaser often does not like confrontation,
Mm-hmm.
does not like conflict, does not like tension, relationally, especially, right? Like,
Yep.
so, ooh, I think Dominique is upset with me. Let me make sure I send her a card. Let me make sure I send her some flowers. Like, I
Ooh.
want to get rid of that discomfort,
Yep.
not address it. I just want to get rid of it, not
Mm-hmm.
work through it. I just want to get rid of it. So I would say
Mm.
that those are three, like hallmark pillars of a people pleaser: the desire
Yeah.
to please others, the
Mm-hmm.
desire to appear pleasing, and the desire to avoid discomfort. You know,
Yes.
when I think about if I'm thirsty and I believe the solution is giving you a drink of water, and I'm confused at why I'm still thirsty.
Mm.
I'm seeing you excited and receptive, and I'm like, okay, maybe I need to give her another drink of water. This is supposed to fill me. You know that phrase of like, you can't pour from an empty cup?
Yep.
A people pleaser is pouring in other people's cup, expecting to be filled.
Mm. Mm. Wow.
That external validation is attempting, like I'm attempting for it to fill me, but it's a pseudo filling.
Mm.
It's not long lasting. And as soon as someone is unhappy, I'm drained.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Ooh, you said so much.
Unfun.
Oh my gosh. It is not fun. It is not fun. And just as
It's not
Nakima said in the beginning, My name is Dominique, and I was also a people pleaser.
Hi, Dominique.
I mean, at this point, we're in a group. We're in a group. Okay, so everybody listening, just
Yep.
going to pull up your chair. We in a group.
Welcome.
Man, you said so much. You said so much, but I think
Mm,
the biggest thing that resonated with me, just based on what you said, was knowing that you're thirsty, but focusing on filling everyone else's cup. And so now you are, starving of thirst because you're not, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, it's okay for me to help other people. It's okay for me to make sure that other people are
absolutely.
okay, but not at the expense of my own health and well being. And that's both naturally
Yeah.
and spiritually. So that's such a big, man, because everything you said was good, but that part to me really just spoke volumes, because I think that is really the cornerstone of people pleasing. Like, you're thinking about everybody
Yeah.
else first, right? And this is a little, kind of a sidebar, but still connected. One of the things that I
Hmm.
think is important to understand is that there's a difference between people pleasing and empathizing with people. And I think a lot of times we
Mm.
do get that, we merge those two and say, oh, I'm just being, empathetic to this person's struggle. But are you, or are you people pleasing?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Hmm. When I think of us in the faith,
Mm-hmm.
and I consider the principles of the Christian faith of like showing compassion,
Mm-hmm.
serving, loving others, helping,
Mm-hmm.
without right teaching, without guidance, without support, anybody that struggles with external validation will misinterpret these things
Mm-hmm.
and believe that now me helping others is my sole responsibility,
Mm.
and the empathizing misconstrued as people pleasing is a good mask where I'm not recognizing or even being self aware to know that my motive really is so that I feel good. They smile, I feel good.
Mm-hmm.
They reward, I feel good. They applaud, I feel good. They
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge that I helped them so much, I feel good. If I don't recognize that that's the motive, nothing wrong with helping people.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But what's the motive?
Mm.
And when I say sinister, this is sinister because if we don't do our work of self awareness, we can be operating like this, believing we're being
Yep.
empathetic, and not recognizing, even though we are outwardly expressing empathy,
Yeah.
inwardly, we're like, yes, I feel good. I'm fed by this person being helped by me.
Wow. Yeah. Mm.
And
Mm-hmm.
if we, one thing about people pleasing that I don't want us to misinterpret, we don't have to be doing this with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
We, some people pleasers, they're not attempting to please everyone. It might just be their family.
Yeah. Yep.
It might just be their ministry leaders. It might just be their friends. So it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have to hit every relational category, but it's like what you're doing in those spaces.
Mm-hmm.
What's the intent or the motive in those spaces?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's powerful. Yeah, motive is everything. That is such a big part of it, and that's how you know.
Mhm.
That is literally how you know if what you're doing is of God, too, because that's a big part. Like, if your motive isn't right, then that's an automatic, this is not of God. This is of me. This is of self. This, like Nickeema just said, like, this is feeding something inside of me. It's filling a void that I have. And we don't want to fill voids in our hearts with other people and because of other people.
Mhm.
We only allow God to fill us, you know. Oh,
Yeah.
this is good. This is good. And that question wasn't even in our
I think
list. That just came up. So, yeah.
it did. Like when you just said void, I thought of like the desire to be validated and affirmed. We've been wired that way. There's nothing
Mm,
wrong with that. I think people pleasing is attempting for us to feel like that God-shaped void, or if it was a circle, I'm trying to fill it with a triangle. I'm trying
mm-hmm.
to fill it with a square. I'm trying to fill it with a rectangle, and it's not fitting. So I'm like, all right, let me twist it this way. There's nothing wrong with the void. What we fill it with is the
Yep.
problem.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. Yep. Because yeah, we do have a void, right? Everybody has a void, but like she said, it's what you fill it with that becomes the issue. Yes. All right. So let's get into like what scripture says about people pleasing, because a lot of times we will try to use scripture to justify people pleasing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Nikema, so from your understanding and just what God has shown you, right? Being a previous people pleaser, right? We're in our small group right now. So, being a previous people pleaser,
Yes.
what has God shown you through the scripture about this?
Yeah. And I would say because we're in our small group, we are
Hmm.
supporting, we are not villainizing, we're not
No.
judging, because
Mm-mm.
we've been there.
Hmm.
Okay, we've been there.
Yes.
Um, one of the most powerful ones that the Lord showed me is the misinterpreting loving others as
Mm.
being responsible for their happiness.
Yes. Mm.
That is not the
Nope.
that is not the same thing. Now, our main example, Christ on the earth, we see relationally, he has some sisters come to him crying
Mm-hmm.
because their brother died
Mm.
or is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Their brother is sick, not dead yet.
Right.
And if he was a people pleaser, come back, Jesus, our brother is sick, he would have override the assignment in
Mm-hmm.
order to please them and to make them happy.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we do that relationally and we call it love, but we're actually getting in the way of what the Lord wants to actually do.
Mm. Yep.
We would have never seen the resurrection of Lazarus if he attempted to please his sisters.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Loving others is not the same as being responsible for their happiness.
Yes. Yes. We need to put
We may
that on a
not,
t-shirt.
we may not be right. That's going to be on the back of our t-shirts.
Yeah.
Another one is like submitting does not mean not disagreeing.
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm.
There's so much the church says about submission, especially relationally with marriage, and wives
Yeah.
submit to your husbands, and then leave out the rest. That is that it's calling us to both be submitted to Christ and then submit one to another, and of course, wives submitting to their husbands. We can misinterpret that of never disagreeing,
Mm-hmm.
never sharing or expressing opinions, needs, or concerns. That's not what the Lord is calling us to, especially in partnership or collaboration in covenant. We need to be able to express our opinions, our needs, our disagreements.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You ready for another one?
Go ahead. Lay it on us.
Denying oneself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Denying oneself does not mean ignoring or abandoning oneself.
Mm. Mm.
The idea of denying oneself scripturally is talking about selfish ambition and following God's purposes for our lives. Self abandonment is actually not taking care of ourselves, not
Mm-hmm.
attending to our needs or wants.
Yeah.
And we can misconstrue that and say, well, this person wants this. I have to deny myself
Mm.
in the sake of their happiness. But that's not like sometimes the Lord hadn't called us to that actually.
Yep.
So us being able to see the difference between these are super important. Loving others does not make us responsible for their happiness. Submit does not mean never disagree.
Mm.
And denying yourself does not mean ignoring yourself.
Yes. I hope you guys are taking notes because this is really good stuff. So make sure you have your notepads out and you are taking notes because this is really good. This is powerful. And I'm going to even add on to what you said. When you don't, when you think that withholding something from yourself, right, is the best way to give to other people, that's actually a form of pride. That's a form of pride. And I think about it in terms of you're focusing, and this is gonna sound weird, but it really fits. And this is something, that the Holy Spirit has taught me. When we focus too little on ourselves, that could be a form of pride. And then we focus too much on ourselves, that can be a form of pride. So we have to find that middle ground where it's like the sweet spot, where it's like I'm not overly loving myself, but I'm not under loving myself either.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the sweet spot?
Mm-hmm. What does that sweet spot look like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what would you think the sweet spot looks like of finding that balance between like not over loving myself, because it's like, with decreasing people pleasing, that does require a
Mm-hmm.
level of more focus on self. But sometimes, and even in this culture today, some people take it to
Mm-hmm.
the extreme. They take it to the absolute
Yeah.
extreme. And even some of us as Christians do it right. So Christians and non-Christians, we have the tendency to take
Yeah.
this to the extreme where it's like, it's about me. This is my, what they say it
Yes.
is. This is my soft girl era. This is my loving myself era. This is, whatever
I
era it
call
is.
that the unholy trinity. Me,
Mhm.
myself, and I.
Yeah, literally,
Right?
literally.
Like the focus. And oftentimes when you consider like us going to that extreme is because we've been operating in the people pleasing
Mhm.
and we're tired of the mistreatment. So we're
Mhm.
like, I'm not serving anybody now.
Yep.
I'm not being generous to anybody now. You're not going to take advantage of me. It's an attempt to protect,
Hmm.
and we swing to the other side.
Yes.
What we're called to is that middle ground, that sweet spot, as you called it. And it's, I think it's like considering that we're not called to everyone.
Hmm.
These are some truths. We're not
Yep.
called to everyone. We will not be liked by everyone. We will not make everyone happy. There's a
Nope.
period at each of those sentences.
Literally, not a comma, not a, semicolon.
Nope. No. And being at peace with that is the
Mm.
middle ground. Being
Mhm.
at peace with that. So we have the freedom to show up as ourselves. We're not
Mhm.
like feeling obligation here, feeling obligation there. That's kind of charging or motivating our behavior. We're not
Mhm.
over functioning, but we're
Yep.
also not under functioning.
Yep.
God calls us to function.
Yep.
Everything that He has created has a function. You start over functioning, say any electronic device, what's going to happen? It's going to overheat, it's going to
Yep.
shut down, it's going to
Mhm.
malfunction.
Yep.
if the if the device is under functioning, we're taking it to the store and being like, it's not doing everything you promised it would do.
Right.
The same with us. The same with us. We are called to function. We are called to care. We are called to extend. We are not called to overextend. We are not called to overcare. We're not called to overfunction. And
Mm-hmm.
there's costs and consequences to that.
Yes. Absolutely.
You know?
That's so good. Yeah, because we don't always realize the costs of what we do, and just the
Mm-hmm.
decisions that we make, especially right going back to the motive. So if your motive is not right within your heart, then you're not really thinking clearly. You're not really making the right sound decisions, when it comes to how to care for yourself and how to care for other people and
Mm-hmm.
knowing when you should do both. So, and that's the thing,
Yeah.
like we get confused about, well, when do I care for myself? How much do I give to myself? When do I care for other people? How much do I give to other people? And then you just get confused, and then you don't want to be looked at negatively, right? So I think that's another piece, like not being looked at negatively by people. And so this kind of goes into the next one about, how do you think that chronic people pleasing affects anxiety and depression? Because, with both of us being clinicians, I'm pretty sure a majority of our clients
Mm-hmm.
struggle with anxiety and depression. And maybe we've heard that a lot of them do struggle with people pleasing. That's something that I definitely would say comes up a lot with a lot of my clients is that, man, like I feel like I have to be a certain way for other people. I feel like I have to, keep up with appearances and expectations, all of that. So how do you think that affects, anxiety and depression and just how it forms, how it appears?
Yeah. I would say disclaimer, this is opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with chicken or the egg on this.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Am I operating in people pleasing relationally and as a result I feel anxious and depressed?
Mm-hmm.
Am I anxious and depressed so I begin operating in people pleasing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And on we go. Like on
Mm-hmm.
this like wild, crazy, toxic cycle and not realizing how they're connected. When they're
Yeah.
both in the room, they're connected.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I experience within struggles with anxiety or depression, that's in me. What I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing in people pleasing, that's relationally outside of me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
now they're hanging out and having a party.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So some of the things you might see with this is like someone really struggling to express their true emotions,
Mm-hmm.
suppressing their emotions, right? In order to please people, in order to
Yeah.
make other people happy, in order to appear pleasing, in order to avoid discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
But when I do that, how do I feel? I could feel depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel socially anxious
Mm-hmm.
because now I'm trying to read other people's mind, interpret their nonverbals, and all of this to attempt to make sure everyone else is happy.
Yeah.
That's exhausting.
Mm-hmm. Very.
And I would say another cost is, especially if we're looking at operating in faith and being believers, recognizing that a cost of people pleasing is often operating in emotional manipulation.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
The
That
idea
part.
that I am doing things in order to get certain outcomes and reactions, and I'm doing it in the interaction with someone else, manipulating
Mm-hmm.
a particular outcome. Nickeema, what do you mean by that? Well, I'll give you an example.
Yes.
If I'm attempting to, say, get a specific position that I'm jockeying for in
Mm-hmm.
ministry, then I may be operating in a level of, I call it the, I call it the serving Olympics.
Mm.
I call it the sacrificing.
Wow.
Who can serve most? Who can serve best? Who could
Ooh.
be seen? So I'm doing all of these things, but I have a particular outcome in mind. I have a particular agenda in mind, and I'm attempting to manipulate that outcome.
Mm.
So when somebody walks out, I'm bending down and I'm picking up this piece of tissue. I'm making sure they see I'm sweeping.
Yep.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh, Nickeema is so helpful. Wow,
Ooh,
she's so
that's
sacrificial. She's here all night long, but she's neglecting her family.
mm.
Oh wow, she serves on every ministry board. The Lord is really using her,
Mm.
but she's not paying her bills on time and she's not cooking dinner anymore because she's in church all day long.
Mm.
These costs are like because we're living like a contradictory life, like in terms of like self-abandonment and then serving,
Yes.
neglect, and then over functioning.
Mm-hmm.
Another cost, like when we consider any struggles with anxiety and depression, is like people don't really know us
Mm-hmm.
and we don't really know ourselves. Because if I'm people pleasing, then I can't necessarily be as vulnerable or as honest and authentic as I would desire to be. I don't really
Yeah.
want to go to your birthday party, but I'm going to say I want to go to your birthday party because I don't want you to be upset with me. So I'm going to say yes. But inside, I'm like, oh, now I'm angry and resentful with you, but I'm
Mm.
smiling.
Mm. Wow.
This
Yeah.
like cognitive dissonance is like our
Mm-hmm.
soul,
Mm-hmm.
rubbing our soul. Instead of I'm angry with her, I don't want to go to her birthday party, I'm going to decline that invitation.
Mm-hmm.
No dissonance. I got to work through my frustration and my anger. Maybe I'll even have a conversation with her and address why I'm angry. But
Yeah.
me attempting to override it to appear nice or to appear pleasing, it's not helpful for me emotionally, and it's not helpful for the person I'm in relationship with because
Mm-hmm.
it's not honest or authentic. And
Yes.
it increases the likelihood whatever they did to upset us will most likely happen again.
Mm-hmm.
If we're if we're in close proximity, say we're dancing and I step on your toe and you never say ouch, I'm
Yeah.
likely to step on your toe again. I'm
Yeah.
not aware of it affecting you.
Mm.
It's our responsibility to say ouch.
Yes. That part. That's it.
It's our responsibility to say ouch.
Wow.
They should know they hurt me. They didn't feel they stepped on my foot. It's our responsibility to say ouch.
Mm-hmm. And people can't read minds. They can't read your mind. Mm-mm.
No, no. I don't care
Mm.
the length of history. I don't care the level of closeness. People are not mind readers.
Nope.
There's only the one and true God that's omniscient, omnipresent,
Mm-hmm.
right? All knowing. It is not a person, ever.
Nope. Nope.
It's
Oh,
our
this is good.
responsibility to say,
This is good. Yeah. It's our responsibility. And I think, man, it's that's so good because the moment that we give up that responsibility, we give up, our sense of self. Because I think too, we forget that God has made each of us unique. And so when we don't operate in who he's made us to be, we, it just ends up being really bad for us. And it really brings up another key point that I really want to talk about too. I really do feel like God is bringing this up now. How does people pleasing affect our relationship with God?
whew,
Mm-hmm.
there's like a flood of ideas
Mm.
about like it's first I'll say several ways,
Yeah.
Dominique.
Look, many
Ways.
ways. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Get your notebook out if you didn't pull it out earlier.
Many ways. The first thing I want us to consider is if we're a people pleaser and we think that this is good and we should be this way to be nice,
Mm-hmm.
then we will project that character on God and we want Him to be a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want something and God is good and wants to please me, He should give it to me, no?
Mm-hmm.
And when He doesn't give it to me, now I'm like, are you good? Question mark.
Mm.
Because I'm misinterpreting that character of goodness on He wants to please me at all times. He's
Mm-hmm.
responsible for my happiness.
Mm-hmm.
We said earlier, that's my responsibility.
Yep.
That's my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I would say another, like when you're thinking about our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with God, our relationship with others,
Mm-hmm.
they're all connected. So if I have this view of people pleasing, I project that onto God. He should be a people pleaser. Then I'm also frustrated relationally. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, God, Dominique is not being good to me. You need to fix Dominique
Mm.
because she's not operating in the people pleasing that I am.
Yep.
I think of the sisters Mary and Martha
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
oh man, sis in the kitchen being like, I'm doing all the things.
And
You're not gonna tell her
Mary,
to
what
help
you
me?
doing? And she tried to come for Mary too.
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't appear pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the relationship with God can be impacted on how we see others as well.
Yeah.
Our critical or judgmental nature for others when we're operating in that space of like, a cousin of people pleasing is perfectionism. Okay. So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
sidebar, you know, possible future conversation to come. But like
Mm-hmm.
I'm attempting to put that level or that standard on others because I have it for myself.
Yeah.
And then I also believe, incorrectly, but I also believe that God has put the standard for me too.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Wow.
You know,
That's so good.
so it can impact the way I come to Him. It can impact the way that I'm not coming to Him
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't appear pleasing this past Sunday. So I
Mm.
think He's upset with me.
Mm. Mm.
I didn't serve on all my 17 ministries this week. So I don't think that God is close or near.
Yep. Mm.
This is, I think, like, of all the impacts, I think this is the biggest one. Like,
Oh
our
yeah.
relationship and the way that we see and interact with God as a result of struggles with people pleasing.
Yes, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly because it really puts
Mhm.
distance between us and God. It puts
Mhm.
a huge distance because we come up with rules that he never came up with. We make our own rule book. And God is like, I didn't make that. Where'd you get that from?
Yeah.
And then he'll
Yeah.
let us sit in it for a while too. Look, knowing God, he'll be like, oh, well, I'm gonna let you sit in there for a little while. 'Cause since you want to make your own rule books, I gotta let you sit in that
Yeah.
for a little bit. I'm gonna pull you out
Mhm.
eventually. I'll pull you out, you know. But right now, you gotta sit. I'm gonna let you sit in there for a bit because I don't
Yeah.
know who told you that, right? And
Mhm.
oh
How is that working for you? Like,
yeah, yeah. Let's see how it works out for you. Because God gonna give you your free will. So
mhm.
if you want to do that and make your own rule book about this, God will let you do it. And that doesn't make him an evil God. It really makes him a loving God because he's like, if he was evil, he would just snatch you out of it, and even though he knows. they're not at that place where, to understand that this is not what they need to be doing. So if he just snatched you
Yeah.
out of it, how will you learn? How will you learn?
Yeah. Yeah. An example of this we see scripturally is our homies, the Pharisees.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, rules on rules, rules on rules on rules, and none of y'all are doing them, and we are.
Mm-hmm.
God is like, what's the state of your heart?
Yep.
They wanted to appear pleasing. The Pharisees wanted to appear pleasing. The scriptures would say they would stand on the corners and have these elaborate prayers,
Yeah.
all loud for everyone to hear. Oh my goodness, look at how holy they are. And they're like, yup, period.
Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The people that Jesus rebuked in the scriptures the most was the Pharisees.
Mm-hmm. It was them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I always use that example. Whenever I talk to people or I talk to clients, I'm like, Pharisees, Sadducees. Jesus wasn't just going around going off on people. He wasn't just doing that. If he went off, it was for a reason and it was for a particular set of people that he went off because he saw right through them. He saw through them. He saw through the pretense. And that's really what it is. People pleasing is pretense. People pleasing is fake.
Yes.
It's fake.
Pretending.
Right? And we don't want to pretend. We don't want to be engaging in pretense. We don't want to be inauthentic. We want to be authentic. And that's the whole goal, of this chat today, of this episode is, just to begin to wrap up because Holy Spirit moved, and I'm grateful for it. This was a great conversation. But yeah, we want to be able to recognize where we're falling into this pattern and know that there's a way out, because I think too, a lot of times when we engage in people pleasing, we get stuck and we think, man, I've been doing this for so long. I can't find my way out of it. But there is a way out. There's absolutely a way out. And God always provides a way out for us. He says it in his word. He says it like in James, I believe, like there's always a way out, of escape. Like God doesn't give us things to tempt us, but he does give us a way out of those temptations. And that is a temptation because people pleasing, it can become a temptation. It can become a stronghold over your life, if you really let it. So, okay, this is so good. This is good. But I want to wrap up because man, we could keep talking about this. We really could. We could be here for like 2-3 hours just talking about this. But but I do want to, begin to wrap it up and just kind of, single or really just some brief takeaways. So like Nickeema, what are some takeaways that our listeners can take with them, after listening to this episode?
Yeah. I'll start for my note takers, right? We're flipping the script on statements like this. I have value if. Dot, dot, dot. And shifting it to I have value, period.
Yes.
I am worthy if. Dot, dot, dot. Shifting it to I am worthy, period. I am deserving if. Dot, dot, dot. Shifting it to I am deserving, period. If we make this shift, if we make this change, obviously this is talking about us renewing our mindset around these things, because if we know that we have value, even if we don't X, Y, Z, please mommy, make daddy happy, go to medical school because that's what grandma wanted, then we can stand in the discomfort of them not being happy.
Yes.
I know I have value. I know I'm still worthy. I know I'm still deserving.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I think is important, a people pleaser struggles with saying no.
Mm-hmm.
A practical step, practice saying, let me get back to you.
Yes.
Because when you're pressurized to answer immediately, you're going to default to, oof, I don't want to see that look on her face when I say no. I don't want to see that look on that person's face if they're disappointed. Let me get back to you. And you're not doing this to procrastinate or delay. You're doing this so that you can be emotionally regulated when you make the decision. That
Mm.
you'll look at your calendar first before you make the decision. That
Yes.
you'll assess your capacity first before you make the decision. Let me get back to you.
Mm-hmm.
You can come back and say yes. You can come back and say, sorry, I can't do that. An explanation is a privilege, not an obligation.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
In times when we are like struggling with saying no, this is what I used to do. I would say no and then a whole paragraph on why I said no.
Ooh, that part.
Why do you feel the need to explain? Because you're trying to make sure you still have the image of being nice and
Mhm.
being helpful no is a full sentence.
Yep.
Explanation is a privilege. You could give context, you could explain, but check yourself in your motive of the need to explain. They are
Yes.
different.
I love it.
I would say being open to embracing discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about like a people pleaser wants to avoid discomfort because they might
Mm-hmm.
struggle with rejection, they might struggle with wounds of disappointment. Being able to tolerate and embrace discomfort will really help you shift from people pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
They're uncomfortable with me. I'm okay with that. They're mad with me. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean it feels good, but I can tolerate it. I can tolerate it. It's not going to overtake me. It's not going to threaten the relationship. That's what we're like worried about.
Mm-hmm.
Their being upset with me, disappointed with me, will threaten the closeness of the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I can tolerate discomfort.
Yes. I
So I would
love
say
it.
that those are some things that have helped me for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Begin the shift. Still on
Yeah.
the journey, but begin the shift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love all of those. Those are really powerful. And only one I will add, just that I've learned even for myself is that when the priority comes with pleasing God above everybody else, then you will have, a much higher likelihood of making better decisions in your life. So it's back to that motive piece. And I think that's been really big for me because when I'm thinking about, okay, wait, Lord, is this pleasing you, right? And not overdoing it,
Yeah.
but just simply, is it pleasing you? Because to please God is really not that complicated. We complicate it, right? But if we think about that in the simplest form, then it's like, okay, that's gonna help me to make better decisions in my life. And so that would be what I would add,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's it.
For sure.
That's it. That's
For sure.
it. Well, I thank you all so much for just joining this episode. I thank you, Nickeema. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad we got to talk about this. Like just a wealth of knowledge
Me
coming from
too.
you. I'm so grateful for you, and what you brought to this conversation. Hmm.
Thank you. I've had so much fun. I'm gonna go sit in this so I don't
Yeah.
operate in any of these, right?
Right.
When we are speaking and then it's like, oh, the test.
Literally. Yep.
So
Hmm.
thank you. Thank you for this space. And I'm super encouraged by what your listeners will be able to take away, where we will all be doing this together.
Yes. Yes. Because we're,
Together.
we're concluding our small group, guys. So this was great. So, all right, all right. Well, we will go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you all so much again for joining and for listening today. And, you know, we just cover you with the peace of God. We pray God will just speak to your heart that, yeah, just as we're going to do, just sitting with this, that you will sit with this as well. Really digest what we talked about today and be able to take this to God. All right. Thank you all so much. Love you guys. And I will talk to you for the next episode.